We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. So we're going to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue. I love Pennsylvania Avenue. And we're going to the Capitol.
Welcome back to GMA3. That, of course, you might recognize former President Donald Trump. His words to the crowd gathered in front of the White House on January 6, 2021, the day of the insurrection on the Capitol.
And tonight, the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th insurrection will present its findings after nearly year-long investigation. The first of several public hearings will broadcast tonight on ABC and across the major networks in prime time. And joining us is one of those 9 committee members, Congresswoman Stephanie Murphy. She joins us from Washington, D.C. Congresswoman, thanks for being with us. 11 months of investigating. Nice to have you with us, of investigating the insurrection on January 6th. How would you describe what you've seen and heard? Some of your colleagues have described it as disturbing. What would you call it?
For me, as somebody who escaped a communist country and has had an incredible opportunity to live in a democracy where there's not a day that goes by that I don't appreciate the opportunity that I have to be here, what I have seen over the last 11 months during our investigation has been deeply, deeply disappointing and also very scary. I used to work at the Department of Defense on, nascent democracies. I know that nothing about a democracy is self-fulfilling. And what we saw on January 6th brought us dangerously close to losing our democracy. And so I think it's really important that we're able to tell this story through a series of hearings as well as through our report.
And Congresswoman, is part of the point of tonight to present evidence that you think directly links former President Trump to the planning of and having a responsibility for the insurrection?
I don't think that this is about exactly one person, but our democracy depends on our electorate selecting people of good character as well as competent elected officials. And certainly in this situation, we found that there were actors in this, the lead up to January 6th and on January 6th, who were intentionally trying to subvert the processes of a free and fair election, of a peaceful transfer of power. And we're going to lay out that story, and it'll include a number of key players.
Does that include former President Trump? Are you going to make a direct line between him and this insurrection? Yes.
And Congresswoman Lee, follow up on that.
Of course.
Because at the end of the hearing, my question to you is, do you believe the committee will recommend that the former president be investigated for a crime?
Our investigation is for legislative purposes, not prosecutorial purposes. The Department of Justice are handling the criminal prosecutions, and so they have a different standard and a different purpose, and I'm looking forward to seeing them complete their work. For us, what we're trying to do is to get all of the facts and then lay out a set of legislative proposals so that we can better secure our democracy, to better secure the physical seat of our Capitol here, and make sure that something like January 6th never happens again. I think, we will put forward legislative recommendations, and we will leave to the Department of Justice any criminal prosecutions that need to happen. And I'll also note that we've already gone through a impeachment, and while we weren't able to get the votes, the entire votes in the Senate, we did have a bipartisan vote both in the House and the Senate that found the president guilty of, creating the insurrection we saw on January 6th.
Congresswoman, you could lay out your findings in the daytime. Why prime time? I mean, some, yes, it's late night, but some joking, Trevor Noah, saying the only thing missing here is Shakira doing a halftime show. James Corden, this is the one that said they should call this Extreme Takeover Capitol Building Edition. This is being produced even. You all got help from a former network executive to essentially what feels like some people put on a show in prime time, which is fairly unprecedented for a hearing like this. Why go this route? Why is it necessary to do this in prime time? And I guess seem to be putting on a production for something that was pretty dramatic on its own.
We interviewed hundreds of people. We received tens of thousands of documents. We have hours and hours of video. There was just so much information, and we're all living in the information age today, and we needed to be able to boiled this down into a consumable narrative to lay out the key facts and to ensure that the American people have an opportunity to view this. And the truth of the matter is that most Americans are just focused on getting by right now. There are a lot of challenges, economic challenges, inflation, war in Ukraine, all of these things. So we're under no illusion that these people have been following breathlessly all of the information that has been, coming out over the last few months, like those of us who are in Washington do. This is at prime time, so people who have been busy just trying to live their lives can understand what happened to their democracy, and so that they can be engaged and informed citizens. Because, as I've said, democracy is not self-fulfilling. We need an engaged electorate, an informed electorate, to ensure that we protect what makes this country great: free and fair elections, peaceful transfer of power, and the rule of law.
Congresswoman Stephanie Murphy, we appreciate your time today and want to remind everyone you can watch those hearings live in our special coverage, Attack on the Capitol, the investigation, tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, right here on ABC.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.